TMO Online Television, its associates and affiliates may not be liable for views expressed on this show. Viewer discretion advised.
Siriddamu kukola nabo. Never. Not to I killed my youth, my entire youth. Should I even kill my last days on earth to work with these people? I regret. I looked at Museveni without understanding that Museveni was something on the surface.
I see.
Obujozi webayina. Obujozi obuli mu State House. Obujoka abaana b'abanabu okubafuula embwa okubajogera ddala okubambulamu empale bakwambulamu empale bakanyuka bakujogera ddala obukwako gwagwo ne butta abantu. If Museveni has left serving minister who is facing Hague over killings, chikutegeeza how powerful he is. Yes, omanyi omuntu wakula afuuka guno nakole kasonde ento yako nekava okuwoza okutta abantu nekaddayo mu kabiri. Kanuka ng'amazzi, kanuka ng'ennagisi, kanuka ng'embwa, kanuka ng'omutumbi. Abako nabo baagala okufuga eggwanga. Is it a kingdom? You have shared the business. Concentrate on business acumen. You have been given a chance to acquire wealth. Learn that wealth properly. Muleke kwesiba ku ggwanga. Muli lukokobe, n'olukokobe bajja dufunira ettaka. People will power on this.
Mbalamusizza nnyo mwena gye musizira okubanga mutulaba. Yenze Ssaalongo Kanka Kapita natuddeyo dda ne muzeeyi Tamale mirundi senior. Newankubadde yachwanye dda nyina kyensooka okubagamba nga situnaba kutandika. Nyina w'ettaka lyange liri Katende Luvumbula liwezaako yiikaazi 2 naye nga yiikaazi 2 zino tezijjuliridde oba obuzaako nga 5-10 okujjuliriza yiikaazi 2 nditunda. Ettaka lino liri kilomita 2 n'ekitundu okuva ku luguudo lw'e Masaka. Liri ku Mpigi, abamanyi mu Mpigi Express Highway. Bw'oba omanyi Mpigi Express Highway otambulako kitundu kya kilomita n'obeera ng'olisanga. Lirina buli kimu ekyapa nkirina mu ngalo ate abaguzi b'ettaka mukimanyi eno ntunda private mailo. Ogenda kwewunya nga nkuguzizza ettaka ojja kugamba omusajja tanguzizza mpadde. Kati kuba ku namba y'essimu eyo ojja kwewunya ebbeeyi. Ettaka eryo yiikaazi 2 zerigula. Kampuni ya Juba Royal Travel si kampuni etwala abantu bweru, wabula kampuni ekukolera ku mpapula zonna ezikwetaagisa okutambula mu nsi yonna ku lukalu lw'ensi yonna luno lwali agadde okugenda. Bakuteekerateekera ebitambuliiso gamba air ticket n'osobola okutambula bakuguza zi visas ate mu abaagala okukola emirimu bakufunira work permit mu nsi yonna gy'oyagala. Kati mu South Sudan bw'oba oyagala okukolayo gamba aba Juba Royal Travel ate abali South Sudan mugende Crown Hotel opposite reception mujja kubanga musobola okufuna work permit ya Uganda. Abagenda ku honeymoon bw'otakozesa Juba Royal Travel ojja kuba weeryazaamaanyiza. Be bantu bokka bakuteekerateekera honeymoon w'onaasula onaatambula otya ne bw'oba ogimazeeko onaakomawo otya bakujjukiza ate balina proper cargo handling services. Tolina ky'osuubira kubuza oba kubulwako ng'okozesezza kampuni ya Juba Royal Travel. Be basinga mu kintu ky'okkola ku biwandiiko oba ebitambuliiso. Bw'oba wamenyeka wanuuka olemereddwa okuddayo ku mirimo nkulayirira nze nno nga nkugamba Jumba Lubo waligaweesa jjajja w'abaana ojja musanga mu kirowooza. Togaana kugenda kumubuulira kikuluma. Musajja ono alina ekitone ekisobola n'okuyunga nga takutteeko ate mu ngeri endala omusajja ono asobola n'okuwa ekitanda mu kirowooza. Kati bano bannasooka, bannamenyeka, bannakyuka, babanninyirira, bammenya ekinywa nga nsamba akapiira. Ye musajja yekka akukwatako nga tolina bulumi. Bw'ova ewa Jumba oba tojja kufuna mulala. Kambeere nga ngende wa muzeeyi Tamale mirundi muwulire omuliro.
Abantu baŋŋamba nti wakuba olupapula lwa monitor nga luwandiika buli kaseera headline. Ne twebuuza mulwaninga mutya gavumenti omuli papers eziwandiika ebintu ku first page ne second page nga bikuba ate abaaliko ku ntebe. Nzabire bamukuba mu katyuni.
Anti kakati mwe kimutamanyi. The battle is inside the palace. Kubanna bagamba tuyina kye tuyita akazu. I've been warning these people, but they did not listen to me. Nti Lwabogo believed that he would become president. But when you analyze politically, where has it been? Even if it is a military coup that cannot happen in Uganda, how can a son-in-law succeed a president when his son is around? Where? So Lwabogo was suffering from utopian thinking. There are people who think that, you see the problem with the Westerners. First of all, the Westerners are so religious that they think after humiliating you, you can come back and work out with them.
But
that a man like me,
humiliating people.
Yes, after humiliating me and you throw me on Kasasiro or Jirikiti.
Humiliating people
no
is not.
Hey, you subject me to negative articles in the newspapers for 6 months. The
people you are saying they are religious, they humiliate people. Is it part of religion? Is it how their religion teaches them?
No. Let me tell you. And this malice, if they don't stop this malice, we are going to plunge this country in a worse situation than Rwanda genocide. Because everybody you have humiliated, you have grabbed his job or her job and wealth.
I see.
And you take the wealth. And when I am languishing in poverty, and after taking my wife, you come and say, okay, come and become a houseboy in my house.
I see.
Very provocative. Very provocative. We cannot avoid it. We shall be worse than Rwanda genocide. If they don't, we have 4 years. Lwabogo should get off the stage. It should dawn on him. He cannot succeed the father-in-law. When the father, even if the father has no. 2, they have failed to understand.
But Mzee, you admit the mafia is powerful.
I've written a book.
Can't it organize to take power?
I have written a book.
If it's that powerful in this government.
The burden of rooted wealth.
I see.
Everywhere these people struggling.
The burden of rooted wealth.
Rooted wealth.
I see.
The burden of rooted wealth. I told you that a mafia, after accumulating wealth, then the president, under which they have accumulated this wealth, becomes a political liability.
I see.
This is why they have become myopic to the extent that they can think of Museveni's daughter.
But it looks
as
like
if it is a kingdom.
But Mzee, it
even
looks
a kingdom, you must know.
It looks like Museveni supports them. You know, Museveni now makes statements that, you know, those thieves have stolen money, but they are investing it in Uganda. He seems to be having an advantage in a disadvantage.
Let him, he has now proved. At one time, Museveni believed this is not the first time to make that statement. Museveni said, by the corruption is good. By the time we came, Kampala was a city of 7 hills. Today it stretches up to 20. Yes. But at that time, he didn't know that he was rearing a tiger.
I see.
Once these people acquire money, acquire wealth, then when you acquire wealth, you cannot be afford to be inward looking. But they saw to that they should have the money and operate on 3 principles. 1, you must be a hunting dog for them. You know, jena kwata akakiiko ne bamuwa ssente sizala we namuwa ssente kati mwenga mubeera akakiiko ng'embwa mwina kubeera peanut kubanga it is a privilege to serve on Museveni's campaign team. When I get nothing, when people are planning to burn my property,
I see.
When my mother was lynched, what did Museveni give me?
For you campaign, they build skyscrapers.
They are shameless. Even in the recent election, they moving from one place to another. I'm a part of the committee. Is it a privilege? Am I organizing a purpose visit?
No.
No. Canonite. Kalisa was thinking that yes, they have paid M.i.S.O. I can only go where? I will never go to M.i.S.O. I hear they have like nobody can control my brains. I rented my brain. You chased me away.
You misuse
Musaga.
I see.
The political dispensation has changed drastically.
I see.
The family is cracked.
I see.
Has accumulated a lot of hatred.
You are the only person who has told people that when the mafia uses you, at some point they dump you.
Mu mawanga gonna a mafia must transcend tribe. Bayina policy, hunting dog, You must be a hunting dog.
Master relationship.
Master, slave master. Doesn't he get a salary? Which is salary? Mention it. Mention the salary. If you were giving me a job and a salary, mention that salary.
I see.
Shamelessly, Jogeri, you sent a maker. But what 5 billion to say, no, you see, I do say, when Wabaka you get Casasilo. She's a Gana Casasilo. Sit in Yayo. Even that appointment will be expanded from my records.
I see.
Where would you use? But what 5 billion no kana kazunzu into a kabi, akanuka. But what the this is a new dispensation. Uganda can take Zoyogerako. We cannot allow these mafias to take power in Uganda.
I see.
With the myopic thinking. You must be a slave. You must be
in other countries, mafias
and the European commander.
Mafia transcends tribe.
In a one to translating a tribe. By in a group cabo, Mumina Kubambwa, Beba Basente, Beba Kola Farm. Beba goba abantu, beba benuni, beba bachi. Kakati today, where has become a problem for them.
I see.
Never bus service delivery. Museveni Kuri, at Museveni Muyamba Ennyo. These people as you hear that tape, that meeting, they believe, don't believe that Museveni is a political liability.
I see.
To the Natasha, to the Ngamubajawa, even your kingdom. You cannot just impose somebody. Natasha Ngaitawa. Lwabogo ngaitawa ngalwaboga niye muwakalu Natasha niye muwakalu
oba wali wabakolera mu ngabikola abazajja
bagana mu parliament mbu bagende mu parliament. Let me warn you, Ssako won by 99% in Romania. After 2 months the population powered on the street. They killed him and his wife, and his son was the commander of the presidential guard.
I see.
What in 2 months, what had the Ssako done?
To paramount a coup.
He cheated himself.
I see.
He's like an impotent man claiming the twins of a woman.
I see.
When the woman knows that you are impotent.
Of course.
They can call you Salongo, but the woman knows
that you're not working.
Yes. What if a parent who buys a degree, buys lecturers to award, umwana wata performing, if except if it's going to be for prestige, when you go to work you will expose yourself.
Of course.
Tewasoma kakati bano bayina obujozi obubali mu mutwe bwe banaaba tebannamalawo obujozi obwo to think beyond Museveni's family and to understand the status of Museveni's family. Museveni's family is a first family, but it's not a ruling family. A ruling family comes from the royal family, kingdom.
Yes. Hey, this is just first family,
yes.
Not ruling family.
They don't have a right.
Who is proposing those things to be taken to parliament?
They don't have a right, an automatic right to produce the next king. In kingdoms, you expect they even spare those in line. That's what an arrogant Mbabazi say. We have a chew. Which chew do you have? Can you have a chew? Can you have a chew in a democratic society? How sure are you that the voters will vote you?
I see.
Yes. He's like a parent. If Mirundi is a friend of yours, and we sit at old people, and I say, let your son marry my daughter. What if the two refuse?
They disagree.
Can we impose an impose marriage on them?
That's what these people think.
Museveni's family, before it is correct, they must understand that they have no right. It is a kingdom. It's not a kingdom. That the next president must come from their family.
Is it bad to
Ugandans? It must be. Like in the case,
they have the right to prepare someone to carry on the legacy.
Mandatory.
Of course.
The queen, if the queen dies now, the next line is known, the crown prince, and they state there Balangira. Who comes next? In a republic, it is not.
It's the people decide.
Yes. Museveni, the family, can produce a leader as Okusumbusa. With the cattle keepers, we call it Okusumbusa. Oba Kasimo. Now Museveni cannot.
That is only if he has
Yes.
performed
Properly.
Yes.
But
We
the
can
mistake,
look, the population can
mistake
look
they have
into his
done
family.
is that the Lwaboko faction is using newspapers because they have the money to paint to paint Muhoozi in a body
As a crown prince?
no in a bad manner smearing human rights buno bwomani tubufere obutasobola na kuwandika ku organic case obufere tujja kunga abantu mugagani amawulire ga Uganda gonna agatasobola kuwandika ku organic case yesterday they were testifying on Zoom bonna nanyini nsi nenanyini nsi yabaddeyo do you see in the newspapers temugula Mwintu kunga abantu tutandika na monitor kagalewo monitor galewo ajja kugalawo ne bwana akola ki what type of true stories trash I challenge monitor I will hit monitor every day I will hit monitor
instead of truth
to expose it to
it
the
is
public.
trash
Kati beso bije bakoze the only person who can receive support from the population is Muhoozi. Why
are you sure?
Muhoozi has not featured, unlike other children of presidents, Muhoozi is not notorious. Apart from what Lwabwogo's allies are putting in the newspapers.
But it is alleged Mzee he presides over an SFC
that
he gets people into
let
drones.
Let me tell you, you see that an institution talk about the army. If your special force ya Muhoozi ani aji commanding Muhoozi commander land forces teji commanding again
but they have November he was in charge
buno bumba tutubwa monitor buno bufere obubwa obwafu obunya ne munyuma obukolera sente ne bwefuula obwekitalo education without money is a curse. This Karinaki, when they talk, you think they are talking, they have education, they have, but their poverty, you stink. That's the problem. Because if you have integrity, how can somebody give me money? Imagine. But the newspapers are just depending on handouts from the mafias. The mafias give them money.
Hey, so the mafia sponsor those stories?
Yes, otherwise they would have closed a long time ago.
I see.
Let us look at the army. If the army is notorious, is the commander in the chief, has he lost control? Why do you stick it to Muhoozi? Let me tell you, for us who have been around, we know. Abamukutte bapudde wakakoza mutale. Abamukutte basemwayi. Abamukutte ba M.i.S.O. Do you hear people who say abamukutte bapudde wa Muhoozi? Apart from what Lwabogo is putting in the newspapers, in his allied newspapers like a monitor. Yes, si yagikulira. Era ono lukira basajja bwabakubira. Nti yali musemwayi. Did they talk about Kandiko? Why don't you talk about Kandiko?
For him, he claims that he saw Muhoozi twice. That lukira basajja.
Where is Kandiko? Ne Kandiko should come up and explain. But because you see, when they plan,
Kandiko, who is in charge of the department?
Yes,
where
before,
the guy was
before I come to
Muhoozi,
I tell Kandiko to state. For me, I was overpowered because one of these things will appear.
Of course.
Lwabwogo has created many enemies. Lwabwogo has created many enemies. In fact, he wouldn't be considered in any talks.
I see.
He would consider Lwabwogo can only protect his wealth if he has accumulated wealth properly.
I see.
But if he has been the one behind quarantines, Ennyo lwamiroma nibadde ennyama y'abayima bannaabwe nibadde amataka abakima bannaabwe nibadde ki nibagenda ebusoga nibabba ebikajjo nibagenda mu nnyanja nibakuba amaato g'abantu nibabba all of these things will surface in the campaign. You see, do you know why? Killings, murders have ceased. A corrupt government cannot hide anything.
Of course.
If you have an estranged wife and you a thief. Stop stealing.
Of course.
Why? Out of anger, the woman will reveal it.
Yeah, and when you do it,
Yeah.
how you do it?
Yes. Kakati tubuuze. If Muhozi was really a thief, if Muhozi had grabbed somebody's wife, as we see in other countries, these people, the only thing they are using against Muhozi is the human race. Museveni was given a mandate. If Museveni is retiring, it does not mean, except in very few cases, where the son has been succeeded by a father, even in highly developed countries, because politics is a name and money, but it depends, even if it is a kingdom, the Bataka can reject a king.
But if they are masking, same way you teina jogerera.
Anti chenkubulira bonna baganginza po against Muhozi. Yes, same way itesobola
because
kwogera.
Muhozi's name comes when there is someone who is
responsible. Tata we Muhozi taina Amawulire. Kakati ne spokesperson wa amaje.
Kandi haliwa.
Anti nkubulire ti spokesperson wa amaje n'aba Amawulire tebamubuuza. Aba Amawulire deliberately they know. Nakugamba nti ba Mafia baba battire wano musango gwa organ nabo banagutuulako batya abantu bajja kutegeera abaana baabwe bababuuze baba battire wano bantu bazaasa bawusajja bo bajja bukuba babuttire wano bantu bajja bwasa emitwe babujooga nnyo kankubuulire byandaala. This is their system yaabwe eri bweti. They don't allow the population to discuss the real issue. Look, as Lieutenant General Tumukunde's son was getting married, do you know what they did?
Museveni's daughter.
Me, I don't know whether Museveni's daughter.
Museveni's daughter.
But do you remember that 2 months ago they said that Tumukunde had beaten up people in Kayunga in one of their newspapers?
And they allege he has a large piece of land that he had gone there over land stuff.
They even questioned, the monitor questioned how Tumukunde had acquired this farm on Michiana Road in Madu. Is it Madu? Not Madu. This place near where Madame Amelia stays. Muduma. Kakati gebebe nabiragachi. The owner of that farm died. Bamasasi. Wali kugunda. The questioning of the farm, people didn't know. Me, I knew that they are trying to sabotage the wedding. Overtakeera. Because Westerners use marriage, they have overused it until they came to me, who does not believe in taking Nsonga. Nsonga. Uganda will tell you, Munjo yingira. They claim
to be born again.
But a future young. Tuja kubagana kubagana. Wabe watu yita. Mbwatuke na betegekera dda. Sijja kutulako nabo. Marisi yabo gitegedde. Nti Marisi yefu yize Museveni
is baba kumalisinga kwa chivinga.
Anti kirishi fe. Kebamanyi okutusa lero baka Amawulire ne baka bomu twe ne bakataka sejja kamodi ne baka bomu tayimbwa mutwe ne bakataka sejja kabuke ne baka bira mu chachi ya bujingo bane bakatta ko baka busenga ne bafa mu yene ne bajocha ne kaddu ne bugalubindi bwako. The society must be tough. This is not a media. These are not journalists.
Bwenete kambigere byakandiho Muhozi abansinga amaanyi. Kati bwe babimwogerako nti yagenda musemu ayi.
Ask him.
Asobola
kuba alinga mukama we. Let the newspapers ask Kandiho and see his answer.
Yes.
But they are not asking because they know that Kandiho has the answer will exonerate who? Muhozi. Yes.
So they want to fight it on
Muhozi. Can turn against his brother-in-law. What type of leader can tetusobola? Tujja kumusimbako empunu. Abekibiina ky'empunu tugenda kulijesinga ekife twagala bwagazi empunu emu beka akalulwa atukeniga lubindize
obaandise empunu kalulu
oba tutatu tuyina ekibiina ky'empunu kasajja y'omutwe kibiina kya mpunu empunu egenda mukuba akalulu fe abalonda empunu tuteeka gwewandikako mpunu mpunu yokka mpunu bwoteekako butuusa empunu pati tububale olw'eggulu empunu emukube mukalulu bwabooga empunu emukube mukalulu empunu awumule empunu emukube mukalulu. They are failed and this is how first family members me have been shaping them to one they think that the battle is they are fighting over a kingdom. They are not fighting over a kingdom, to tell you frankly. These people are not fighting over a kingdom because Uganda is a republic. If Uganda is a republic,
but for you are support of more.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Do you think it's a kingdom?
Of the two, because I know.
Because if you support more
given
yourself,
the history I know. In Pakistan, the Bhuttos. In India. India of 1.5 billion people, the Gandhis, yes, Kenyatta's son, this Park of South Korea, his father, the Bushes, the Kennedys, this is obvious.
There have been sons,
yes,
who
because the politics is a name and money.
Their relatives.
But you must ask, why has Nyerere not produced a son who is a president? It is the structure of the Chama Cha Mapinduzi. Why didn't Kaunda produce a successor? He waited to be hated. Anybody would have given Trumps Kaunda. Why is Nskedi? Nskedi is rewarded for his father fighting Mobutu. Why is Mubaraka? Why was Mubaraka moved? Mubaraka was imposing his son as Secretary General of the ruling party, when other generals were waiting. So in a democratic system, I wouldn't like, if we are in a competitive situation, Luaboga has a right to come, but I will not support him. I have my freedom. Because of the weaknesses I know about him. I cannot, but I don't have a veto. I cannot tell Luaboga not to campaign. He has a right. Yes.
Now, Mzee,
but the mistake
how should this Muhozi, he has had his life through the army?
Yes.
How comes he doesn't have a media to speak?
Taina ngachita by investing Museveni investing mu mukodomi we Lwabogo fenna natujoganga embwa tuvula bayali alowooza bwakwata sente zange njagire nze nabakyawa nnyo.
How can he be president without a media?
I hate these people more than he hates himself. Nabakyawa nnyo tukiru my political career tusaba yekati mitu entwe pusi kono kusajja kono bieto nika kato kulu yagwene kwatagwene nakana kayino obutu obukajagala ddemu benyondo omuntu entitako kamu. I hate them more. They killed my political career. No reconciliation, compensation, and I will never work with them.
I see.
Siriddamu kukola nabo. Never. Not to I killed my youth, my entire youth. Should I even kill my last days on earth to work with these people?
I see.
I regret. I looked at Museveni without understanding that Museveni was something on the surface.
I see.
Obujozo bwe bayina. Obujozo obuli mu State House. Obujoka abaana b'abannaabu okubafuula embwa okubajogera ddala okubambulamu empale ne bakwambulamu empale ne bakanyuka ne bakujogera ddala obukwako gwagwo ne butta abantu. If Museveni has left serving minister who is facing Hague over killings, kikutegeeza how powerful he is. Yes, omanyi omuntu wakula afuuka gundi kale nakole kasonde ento yako ne kava okuwoza okutta abantu ne kaddayo mu kabiri. Kanuka ng'amazzi, kanuka ng'ennagisi, kanuka ng'embwa, kanuka ng'omutumbi nekanyumuntu yako kajjako pologulamu ze jakemu bakuba omutwe ogwo bagwasi bakasajja gwe bakuba ne kitaawo bamutte. I'm very bitter man. I can grab you and
people Mzee are asking, you are very bitter, you know about their dirty tricks, but you still support their father.
That's why they are fighting. We're meeting over family. I'm no family. Bamukube. Tujamukuba.
Bebalita Natasha.
Continue to Mukubi. Natasha and Kuba Bukubi. Yes.
Yet about no leadership. We're proposing a Natasha
Diakwa. Is it a kingdom? You have shared the business. Concentrate on business acumen.
I see.
You have been given a chance to acquire wealth. Learn that where is properly.
I see.
Muleke kwesiba kugwagala. Muli lukokobe, no lukokobe bajja dufunira eddagala. People will pay on the street.
I see.
Olabe wadduka atoyo bamukyawa nnyo. If there is a hated man in Uganda, Lwabogo is a hated man.
Who is mixing Muhoozi Nirukira Bashaija's issues?
Lwabogo. Yes.
This young man claims was tortured in the presence of Muhoozi.
Wulira akatambi kaabwe. Era in fact let me tell you. I wrote this book. I'm not a fool. Having worked in the State House 14 years, I don't expect that even in Jahannama, sisubira obujozi bw'ennalaba mu State House nga butujogebwa human being. They were treating us like slaves. People who never went to school never kujoga. Then wait till we go to school.
I see.
I hate them more than hate itself. I hate them more than hate itself.
Obujozi obuli eyo.
Ne bwana batunulya na bategeera. Ti one day they will need me. Over I become a burden to them.
I see.
Never mistreat somebody who has worked in a family. Muleke kujoga nga nsi omukono atujoga. Mama, but mama. Who doesn't have a mother-in-law?
I see.
At one time you were also papas.
I see.
Yes. Namu mwalika above. We are children of I'm a product. I always repeat it. My mother did not buy me from a supermarket like a doll.
I see.
My mother did not. I was not made by carpenters. I'm a product of a sexual act between. Why do you mistreat me? Now quarter 5 billion. Did you expect me to fight you for 8 years?
I see.
And I have the capacity to fight you until I die.
I see.
I will fight you until I die.
I see.
No reconciliation.
I see.
How many Ugandans can reject 5 billion? Lwabogo must return the money to the president because I know he wants to use the money. Dangling Mambunjogerena ye. Ayakara 50 tojja kufuna zero. I will never talk to you. Even if you kidnap me. I can only meet Lwabogo to members and other group at a roadblock. In a prison cell. In a mass grave. And on a flight I cannot forward.
I see.
Is this government strengthening itself or is it falling? Agenda kunsanga wa munsi muno tulisinkana wa mulumbe wa you can only meet at a road block.
I see. What
do I need? Will I ever go back to State House? Atoba na vuma nazala nzireyo mukube no.
Karimuzei, according to your assessment, bakozesa omuntu ne bamusuula ani abadde akozesa mabirizi
anti mabirizi oli omu abadde amukozesa mabirizi wanted to go to the court of appeal. I said it was because of Museveni's lawyers who wanted to extend the battle to the East African Court of Appeal because everybody knows we have not created a federal government in Arusha. We have not transferred our sovereignty to Arusha. So the Court of Appeal, we have not agreed even on the election that we must have the principle on election is this. We are experimenting and creating jobs for other people until a political union like Ekomogo. Ekomogo is different because Ekomogo has a military wing.
I see.
Mu East Africa temuli military wing. Why? Amajega Tanzania got professional armies. Gano kaba yekera. In Kenya, if you remain at a military rank for more than 3 years, for 3 years, it means the army has no purpose for you. You resign.
I see.
Never know. I'm a commander wa Kenya amanyidwa. If today we have from the Air Force, another one will come from Land Forces, another one will come from Marines.
Museveni yabitta. Ya appointing a CDF.
Kati musobola kukola Ekomoko. Hati musobola. Eko Ekomoko. You don't have a military wing. You prefer to move alone. Yes. Kakati kitegeeza.
Now, Mabirizi wanted to extend.
Bamulyemu sente. Kakati Mabirizi n'awaabira Kabaka. Ne kagero kali ekintu nange kali kampaabiti. Naye mbagamba nti abasajja bano nga bagenda okukozesa. The fattening period is very enjoyable. Media bakakubako n'olutwe lwako n'olutwe nga kali ku pick up kati seeka ebitabo kalaga mu kooti. Court praised him. Now a judge comes up. Nedda we should condemn this man. We have criticized presidents. We man who has criticized president, who is this judge. What makes him panic?
I see.
Why is he panicking? Let us create the status quo.
I see.
Let this man's allegations be investigated. Where did this judge get all of this with it?
Don't threaten.
Temunajjako byencha. Answer one question. Did Nabakoba pay a non-existing person called Namuli? Yes.
Then we shall have the answer.
Kakati nono. Why is the judge panicking? Go lati dibira. Golo no. Go lati dibira. Amanyo tasenyako. Go lati dibira. Golo no. Neda golo tatidibira. We should not accept this. That there is a judge who cannot be questioned.
I see.
It's impossible. A judge remains.
If we can talk about the president,
it's a role. It's just a role. He cannot let him tamper with me, and I teach him a lesson.
I see.
Or any judge.
I see.
And necessarily, Murise Kasasiro. Mbaksulia kumuramuze dalu. Judges are doing work like a doctors.
I see.
If we give these judges diplomatic immunity, what about the doctors who operate us? Who can declare us? A judge to declare you dead. It takes you 7 years when he disappears.
I see.
But a doctor, we should not allow this impunity. Don't be taken by this conduct. They want to use it against me. Abadafu makabaka. Abadafu manegon. Kulubya wabukedde. Bwe tulisisinkana. Eyankuba Amawulire emyezi omukaaga. Atajja kusasula. Hirupe. Alibeka kwa busenga nkaje y'olutwe lwako. That farm will be sold on auction. Bajja kutunda farmu yako. Ejjogo lyokuli nakasajja ako likava na lyesirongo. Kajja nakavera kajja kuddayo nakavera. N'okuba abantu boyonoona. Bwekuba abantu bobonoona. Tigwe gwe bukedde wa specializing mu kuba abantu kubonoona. Kulubya wirupe ate anaddawa. Naye bagenda musula mu maayi. Tulyoke tumuyigge wano. Ajja kuyiga. We shall hunt him down. We shall hunt Kulubya down.
Kulubya.
Let him leave bukedde. We shall hunt Kulubya down. It will be protected by Imam.
Kakati omulamuzi ono ye bwe bamwogerako tayagala kumucriticizinga.
We cannot allow this.
On social media.
Don't talk about this issue of talking about a judge. When the man was encouraged by court to criticize the Kabaka.
Yes.
Let us compare the judge and the Kabaka. Who enjoys the better ratings in society?
A natural born rights.
Yes.
And this judge is just an educated fellow.
The judge cannot compare himself to the Kabaka.
I see.
The courts allowed this man even to come when nobody hired him to appear in the court when he was fighting the removal of the 75-year cap. Court entertained him.
I see.
Does he become mad when he questions the ways of a judge?
No.
Mulekekanga abantu omulamuzi abantu bajja mukuba n'ebintu babyoki. You are Ugandans. Are you going to be judges for life?
No.
Bajja kuba ebintu byamwe babaasa emitwe. Ono omulamuzi mu kiibi eyasalya akajubi nti asinze. Where is he? Bamukuba buli walaga bagoba mukubi n'oyo bajja mukuba buli walaga.
Kajubi yattu omwana.
Yes, abantu bajja mukuba because after retiring you go to society.
I see.
We have hated goon. We have hated families. Batalingaya. Who knows Batalingaya? Where Ugembe Francis, hated the families. Where are the judges?
I see.
Never jamu bulakalising. Don't allow anybody.
Judiciary food.
Let me tell you, if this man Sekana, we allow him to silence his critics. What will come to an army officer? That's why I say that Museveni handles a lion and a dog. Causes trouble for
compare
him.
These two things. When Rukira Bashaija criticized the Muhozi on Twitter,
omulamuzi bwenyo omulamuzi twongere tumubenya asibe yabalala atasulawa netasulawa abaana bene mukazi we bonna tebali wano asibe yabakambo alabe olusuku lwe bakerenga balutemi ejjoko ly'omusajja oyo omulamuzi ne muggwe mu mutwe ayaba afu the law.
I see.
You allowed this man to abuse everybody. The Baganda have a better proverb. If you allow a kid to abuse the elders, he wants to abuse more elders.
Of course.
You allowed this man. That's why. For me, I offered 1 million. to rescue this man. To raising a say, Omalamazona, Nnyo, Omalamazam, Benaro can see Bamkuba again in court. Me, I don't go to court.
Then I walk up
no was being used. We should not, you see. When you allow these people to use people and dump them, that's why I stand with everybody.
I see.
But guarantee and say money. Mabidis abadde bamu hiring okuba
makabaka
uno mulamuzi yani akwate okuba amanya alabe bamuhoche.
I see.
Ba jogoli mugwe mutwe. I was setting a precedent that a judge cannot be. I criticized Ntaboba was the principal judge. He tried to bring it to Uganda's his lawyer. Lukutana. I told Ntaboba, let us go to court. Don't intimidate me.
I see.
That is to abuse the judge. Are we going to medieval agencies in Uganda where are criticizing any Mengo leader would land you into jail?
I see.
They will allow, if we allow this judge, what will happen to the Chief Justice?
I see.
On to Mukbenye Sekana, to Mukbenye, to Mukbe, to Mukbe. Mukbenye ku social media asiba abantu bameka.
I see.
Aduke baja mu the same scene. Senses down on him. You are not, you encouraged it. Let us look backwards. You were encouraging this man, forgetting that you were riding a tiger.
Of course.
Now the man has turned against you. He is asking you, how did you get this wealth? You answer the question. You have wealth or not? Where do you fear? You say
before you take the guy.
Yes.
If
I was this judge, if I was this judge, and somebody claims that didn't the judge submit his wealth to the IGG?
We hear.
Yes.
There is
a
requirement for government officials to do.
Why did the court? I suspect he did. Why did the court dismiss Luchamzi from Parliament?
Because he never submitted his work.
Yes. Why do you want to enforce law like the police? The police has the ram circles. You find a police bus without brakes. You find a ram circle transporting policemen. But you find the same people stopping other people's vehicles
that are in good condition,
in better condition than the police. No, this is abuse of office.
I see.
Yes. Let this man answer. Let Sekana answer. Sekana would say, the Baganda have a proverb, a message kusaba chigwato jana mugo. Yes. How can you pick a stick to chase away rat? When you say rat, you can even step on it.
Of course.
Also out and it goes.
I see.
But are we going to set a precedent?
Where judges are almost...
and this comes after that, then you see Sarkozy propose. We are muzzling. In fact, I was happy. As in Sereko was pursuing his bill, Kabuleta, a member of the mafias, who I think have something to answer, because they are saying, I think these people are playing, they played in Sereko on his psychology. When you talk about this man, the speaker, parliament, being sick, recovering from hospital does not mean that you are cured. So there could be circulating. I know how those mafias operate. They can tell in Sereko that, do you know, when this man is incapacitated, we shall elevate the woman to speakership, and remember the other time. You start fighting their wars when they're just deceiving you.
And then at the end, they dump you.
Let me tell you. Do you need, how many times have these people talked about ghost teachers? Ghost teachers, ghost teachers.
But it's almost a routine.
Let me tell you.
Every academic year.
How does the government know the number of soldiers?
I don't know.
It's easy. You know the battalions. How many soldiers are in a battalion? How many soldiers are in a platoon?
I see.
Do you know? Kakata, let me tell you, I can solve the issue of ghost teachers in a day. One day. What do I do?
24 hours.
What do I do an intelligent man like me? I suspend for 1 month, paying through the bank. And these banks, like Central Bank, have branches. You get a police vehicle to accompany the money vehicle. I don't know how you call them. They pay all of the students.
They are called bullion vans.
Yes. every student, even if I don't move with the money, I say all of the teachers of a particular school should assemble at a particular school and be identified by the students.
I see.
Yes. Because the students will say, oh, you're tumumanyi. You not see the costs.
I see.
The exercise can be made there and there.
But who puts ghost teachers?
Obate, yayagala, yalita manyi baserikale be bungi bwa. Naka hiring a man called Kanomwaka. Kanomwaka came back after 2 days. Namga mulimo gunnemye. When I counted in Rubiri to go back the following day, the number had increased. Why? Militia has come. When these soldiers get their brothers from northern Uganda, today as visitors, tomorrow they put on military attire and they start stealing from the population. So you cannot tell a registered soldier and a visitor.
I see.
That's what he said. And these numbers, the ghosts are known. But if you don't use a bank, how can the ghosts get money? If any teacher, I get schools, I know, to get a salary, you must be registered. But if you tell these people, they will remove the evidence. But even if they remove the evidence, it helps you to get new data.
Of course.
Let all of the teachers assemble in a particular school. Those ones who have not appeared, their photographs must remain there. So that the students in those particular schools can know. Ono master gundi cheyazze. Ono miss gundi ne abadde akolaki. Will you see the ghosts there? Ekyo nannyini nsi tayinza kikola nannyini nsi. Olowooza ababba ssente za Ministry of Education bali bameka? Ministry of Education olowooza nti abagiryamu ssente bangi. Apaada bato. Ani yabba ssente za radio ne TV? Who stole? Omanya abasajja bali batulanga bavumirira muhoozi. Ne mbaweereza message. Ne mbaga nti mmwe byonna bimwogera ku muhoozi tebiriiyo. But the tweets, you hear them talking. A person can be anybody on Twitter. What if somebody opens up an account in my name? People will believe that I'm the one.
Of course.
That's what they are doing. But ndikwata kutumwebazo bamwenda oba kulubya katonda n'abampa ti different ye good ne muyingiza munda ne tutenganiramu usajja bubi nnyo obwo busajja bubi. Those people are dangerous.
Njagala kubuuza muzee
obusajja bwetaaga kuba bukubi obukube babuttire wano oba omukulembeze abukwate abuteeka ku kizinga okuligoonya ng'emmere malunid okwatangako n'entwe yaako n'entwi n'okwataka nekwaluzunza mutwe n'obuyola bonna n'obumaluuni nga kwa Ireland n'oteekako goonya emmere bagibuweeramu erikoputa osala eno obusibirayo busajja bubi kalera bukuba ne bukuba gundi yatumukundi bukuba mbaga bwakuba kuteesa ne bamusensali embaga nti hawuka
naye lwaki baganya okwatakinga omuntu mu famire time kubanga ne Sudiru bamukuba mwana wagenda kuwasa
embaga ya muwala we
embaga ya muwala we
singa bakwatako Amawulire kamu alla n'atuyamba oba kalaze waabwe jinga omusajja n'akakuba mutayimbo bakabukedde baka monitor babuna obuzulubuzu nga bubwini sajja n'akakuba ennyondo omutwe n'akubako kamu buyiga Mulatini America batabutti. They shot them.
I see.
Nabona bukyabusana buno bwe bagula ne bakubaka bwino omutayimbo. Ne bakubaka bukedde. Ne bakubba aka monitor. Bakubba omutayimbo ne kakalirawo. Bukyuka kubanga tebujja kukyuka. Bwavu. The newspapers cannot make money. So they are relying
on handouts.
Yes, we call them advertorials.
I see.
In that meeting, Mwenda raised the issue of Museveni's first speech in 86. It appeared in the Monitor recently. Yes. The Monitor, single Monitor, Jakumukolo, Mukula, Monitor, Bamuzingideco, Bempare, Baripota, Monitor, and Padden Bajimujam, Bawa Monitor, and Padden Bajimujam. Kubanga, me, I'm a senior journalist, but I don't believe in the malice. Malice has never been part of journalism.
I see.
Never. A journalist must be fair and objective. A journalist with the true human rights of one person and queering Ugandans, 400 our daughters, ne kazunza entwe kabadde kuzuumu nga kazunza olutwe lwako ne kavayo ne kagenda mu cabinet. What type of country do we have? Kamala okuzunza entwe ne kazunza entwe yako kali kajijjako jakemu beba kubetente kasajja ku bakuba bwoteri bo babunche baka bento ne kitawa ko bamutti nakana akalala.
Njagala kubuuza mzee ani aleeta ebya referendum nti Museveni bamwongere mu parliament.
Referendum ya busiru nti bayisamu Natasha bayisa sisi ya mukozi mukozi can be marketed nabo tibasobola ku marketing. Why do you appear
ani abyagali ebyo?
Let me tell you, Wabo cannot win
referendum.
Referendum is good because we shall tell these people who is behind. They'll come ani ayogera Wabo galitagera mbana mutubulire buno bukata bwe bwayogera babukubire mu byalo Wabo galite bukata bwobu tuzingi tukunga abantu babeba bumenyere je bulaga taina we out. I intimidating a Cesaro. Have powers in the parliament. It's abantu batukunganya abantu bayiwe mu kibuga.
I see.
This is a battle over succession.
I see.
Tajja kutujoga. If we want to be a bishop in the Orthodox Church, you don't marry.
I see.
If Lwabogo wanted to be president, he wouldn't have stepped on many toys.
I see.
Nago balumumba, nago bakadaga, nago banachobe, nanerega bajja kwata sente tusinga ninga nsingana na wewe. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to Lwabogo? Even if God directs me, that when you talk to Lwabogo, you get a
direct ticket.
20 years more.
Sisobola
kwogera na Lwabogo. Lwabogo abanyabanyeza family yange. Kera mukomere makumicha. Nkera wafe musozi mukumira byoto. And you pay.
I see.
Ajja kusasula. Yanjoge emyaka 14 mu State House. Omunana agunjoze. Giri abiri mwechi. He will pay. Nebwazita, every maggot will be paid for by his family member. Ejjogo ly'omulenzi ono obujozi boka kaneko ajja kukakanya ku bujozi n'obujozi bw'obulenzi obujja buggwamu. Tekina ensonga tuwe Muganda kirina ensonga. You cannot use tekina ensonga when you have made my family suffer for 8 years. Tekina ensonga aleta sente tekina ensonga. Did you sell your cows? How do you calculate this money? According to the salary, according to what? It would be me to state what I've lost.
How do you come up with
a
conclusive figure?
Bujozi mu mitwe balinga be bawumba Uganda balinga nti Uganda be bagisookamu bayino nibidde twala baba nubi twala baba ki oyo Lwabogo yasinza mini amayi agenda ajoga ye mukasoose kongolo teyaliyo abasadamu tebaba bane baba
nemzeka kubulire Museveni buli kintu kyabadde ayagala kibadde kiyitawo n'ekire ekyali funda mu kyali fevalinga ye
takiyisaamu. We shall not support him and we are many. You don't have any reason if you are unpopular. If you are unpopular, if you are rejected, you see election councils. When you are rejected previously, when we had elections from the chairman, if the people reject you, even if you go home and bring a Gomez as a woman, they will reject you.
Of course.
These are unpopular leaders. Ababana babadde mugundi biyisa kikungu bali eri waggulu balowoleza mu sente to amasi weres. It is only Mukozi who has offered himself. He's always at the front line. As the district, mutubulireyo balina charity abo be mutuleetera. Do they have a charity? How has society benefited from their wealth? Wetuli ate banatuta batayo omuntu omu noli okwomulaba ne kalubintize bwadduka bamwetegekera dda omulenzi oyo ensi yamwetegekera dda asparkinga ajja kusiparkinga akantu aka alidukira mu helicopter alifulumira mbikoyi alifulumira mbikoyi nga kabina is the most hated man in Uganda alifulumira mu kabi ali wali badduka ngadduka abantu bamutamwa. If you are thinking you don't understand that was thinking the man is hated even Kony kati fa abekika kyempunu abekibina kyempunu tugenda kufulumira manifesto yafu ngerika empunu. I think on the Saturday we are coming with our manifesto empunu party fa empunu party we are coming empunu eze kuvuganya tulina gwe twagala empunu emusinza akalulu empunu emube empunu emubalalire amube empunu emubadduke empunu ategere nti abantu bamukyawa teri amwagala
empunu party
tuli bampunu
nze ina gwe tujira kye njagala okubuuza ekisemba baleeta fine bwe baba ng'oganye okukuba jaabu ya COVID?
Let me tell you. They are creating
There will be a fine.
They are creating themselves.
N'ekirala muzeeyi kye tubuuza.
What if, like this divided government, where you are maligning a man like Muhozi, and when they are family members, I can tell you the meetings that are going on. Even this evening, there is a meeting by family members because they want to make it a family issue. It's not a family issue. Nobody is threatening Museveni's assets. This is state issue. Museveni derived the powers from the voters. You cannot just impose. Even the money comes to be a question. How did he accumulate this wealth? People are asking. You come into the campaign, you answer, you will see how hated you are. You must ask yourself, why should people refuse? I've heard on radio a news item that in a particular area they have found drugs that have never been used. Yes. Where did the excitement go?
I see.
Yes, because the deaths were artificial. Bakugamba amaaso g'omuganda gali mu ngalo. Amaaso g'omuganda gali mu ngalo.
Baziikako ne kofi mu ngalo.
Nga baagala ssente. Kakati the moment you kill the attitude of people ne mukikoleramu ssente, you cannot change the attitude. We want Museveni to tell us the cars that his National Task Force bought. Recently they were exposed. They said they had bought modern testing equipment at the border. They are not there. One day, Ramwari, Nanyinsi tebatangana na katongole bwe bati. Oyo katongole oyo, Emmanuel. Lati batangana na Nanyinsi. Awona what document weziri. Chobola batya nnyo nedda totya. Ebintu ebyo wadde obikola ngolooza ulifuuka president. Ulifuuka otya president.
Tuguze equipment
ajja kusirisa abantu batangolinga essente mutunze ente have you sold your cows? Money coming from the president kweozikwata. I wanted him to come on his benyondo ninja bamutwe kongwase ku kitabe kyamwe ekyobujozi manyi balina ekitebe ky'obuzio. The headquarters of humiliation is in the state house. They have a kitebe headquarters of
obujozi.
Yes, this is the state house and plan how to humiliate other people's children.
I see.
The headquarters are in the state house where they sit and decide this one is Shadaga there. Must be sound on Kasasiro. But who do you throw Kasasiro? Nze nonsula Kasasiro muzimu kwa mirundi kujja ne kuntuga. Basi buzisa India. Tayenza kunteka Kasasiro. Siri kwenda ko Kasasiro. Never. I will never go ko Kasasiro. Take it yo. Tekiri yamu yanga mu vibrant yamu knowledge.
Njagala kumaliza muzeeyi na kino.
Joko liri bye rwanereka munga mu.
Twawulira.
Liwalete joko linga mu. Ba. We are provoking him to kill a person. Ajja kutayo omuntu omu. Olabenga tasigaza na kajiko.
Njagala kumaliza kino muzeeyi.
Jagalero ekyogerero lyajoga abantu. Limugwere mudda.
Twawulira gundi.
Taliddayo kamanyi.
Bamuwa ssente.
Manyira abantu.
Gundi musenero bamuwa ssente developing a vaccine.
Nzemba fako. They will be exposed.
COVID agenda atandise n'okuggwayo.
Let me tell you.
Mbugundi ya vaccine bagivolinga myezi 8 nga COVID yaweddewo.
A death may become melody but it is never the case. Eddagala lya COVID liriwa liwonya walibeera w'abalala nje nkubuulidde if Museveni is playing with the people he will be killed. They don't know where are UPCs? Where are they? Where are the Okeros? Where are they? Where are the UPCs who used to go to Bushay? Where are they? Did they disappear?
No more.
Like a gonorrhea. The thieves will be rounded up.
I see.
That's why the mafias are sitting every day. One of their meetings is that one. Play it.
Yes.
Play their meetings so that we share their concerns.
I see.
But today, Nayona Josenyo on a year against Okujukuka. Ngobudde bukedde. Abantu bamwepikira. They are itching to grab him like a grasshopper. Astepinze ku bantu bangi nnyo. Na babantu. Adde waggulu bamulonde. Even if a mention of your name in parliament, tuyiwa bantu. Naduka aduka ekibuga kifuluma mu aliddukira mu bikoyi ajja kuddukira mu bikoyi nga batokisi abantu bamukyawa nnyo bamukyawa ajoze nyensi mu ekonome mu agirikalicha wo wonna yesoda buli wamu abeerawo talina waayita. The only person gwe tusobola okumarketinga mu family ya Museveni is Muhoozi.
Si Natasha
tayinza yitawa oyo tayina even mentioning her name tali yoyo tudduka buddusi kulaga mu opposition twabogezi tutema butemi nitugera you cannot tell me to market
wagamba ne Bobby Wine waabwe kati opposition yali waje kulaga
you cannot tell me wagamba Bobby Wine waabwe kati tayita kungamba ku marketinga ikintu nkifiiremu amunoti heroya kan defend and defendable things. Me an intelligent man. I know the dynamics of politics. And I support Natasha. Mpozi nga Kuba ate sobola. Kubanga credibility ya ne dignity njagala nnyo mwaza.
Ebanga lyo mazo credibility ekibadde Nsonga Enkulu.
Sisobola kulya sente zabo. Nja buli lunaku musabira lwabo. Ngende waffe mu nsozi n'enkuma ebyoto. Teba ntenguwangako. Lwabogo wiru kutegula okutegula ndi composition different okutegula we don't see us because there is no purpose of reconciliation. Since I will never work with Lwabogo again, why do we reconcile? Reconciliation might ina okusonyiwagana like a woman and a husband okusowagana nga musowaganya musonyiwagana kakati waliwo okutegula a grievous offense ti omonyabonyeze emyaka 22 Nino kuchamonda yoyo. You will pay all of the costs. You will pay. Solely responsible. Tewali akutuma. Waba wakutuma. Ali kuyamba ko kusasula. We will help you to pay. But the debt is accumulating. Kuli bya kusasula. Kabushenga ajja kusasula. They will pay. They will open my grave. But they come see.
I see.
Their children will produce imbeciles.
I see.
Kuli bya ne bwali kola check kuli bya ne kabushenga bachaka. No lugongo gongo lwolo ndio kemba malimu obujozo bono na
kasembeyo ka drink yako jani habo tea drink
akaita jani kan jani kakolebwa lya Antonde kakukuuma emimiro kati nganza ayogera ennyo. This is my second program. Yes, and I was supposed to make another one. Nebu bagambye nti ku TV ne yambuka teyaliyo ebyo byonna bye bakola tibyonna ejibiri. You cannot fight me wemba tusiza tibasobola kuba mmanyi mbabaza. They thought by dangling mana rugo no Lwabogo zakuteko sizikwatako njagala mulagire ddala obujozo siryogerako naye kuba anonya we this money Muhoozi muyite twogere. You will never to even Museveni if Museveni raises an issue of reconciling with the Lwabogo, I storm out of the meeting. I will never talk to Lwabogo. Lwabogo ajoze nnyo family yange. He must pay. Yes.
So kakuyamba katya
katuyamba mu miro tunywa. Kalimu wali wakalina sukali na akatayina. But hub si alcohol. No.
Okay.
Kahabu. Yane kagula siringi 10 kabera mu okafuna yo mugundi. Mu supermarket it is there. Yes, it is good. Wali wakaba sukali na akatayina sukali. But it's a good thing. It gives you energy. It gives you agondi.
Omumiro.
And it is mobile like this one. Kanu. Yes. Kovanil. Twawa gondi na saba makola. Na wako ne gondi. Ne aba political issues. Kati dino. And factory ndi amatuka tebagenda nganayo. Amagola mubbi. Neshingo bakubira ya no kwata kasajja ka bukidi. Akagamba nti magola mubira ka red paper noko bira yo mutayimbwa babo sajja obone babo Amawulire ne babutira ku mukolo
magola yagende wa speaker agale sekretari ya covid
ne bali nyo ko sajja ko babukede ne bakoli nyo lubuto byenda ne bifurubira mu kutu kolubya sebo watali nyayo kayira duka buddusi kasawuli anti akabukede bakakubye enyondo bakakubide enyondo mutwe
tada mukuli
akamani tabaka kubya mutwe ne bagwasa tebudde mu kuwandika bya busiru in Latin America they kill them. The moment a journalist deviates from principles of fairness, is a mercenary. Nobody can entertain mercenaries. Baka kube, wakaja mu church nembuza akabukide. mukasindika ng'abatakalabi nembeera mu stampede mu church nemukalinya olubuto akabukedde nemukalinya oba kamonita nemukalinya nebukumukuwandika ebyobusiro kati sabutegeera nti babukubira ku mikolo butandika okwekweka obwa Buganda Land Board olaba bukyayambala obukooti bamanyi abantu babugema nebwabukedde singa bunnamuli babukedde abantu babugema nebabugema abantu nebabugema nebwamonita nebabugema nabano obwabwino nebabugema birembo ku faction birembo okwo nebudduka gwe buwandiiseko n'abunoonya kaba kava mu motoka bamutayimbwa mu mutwe ne kadde busula mu bisenyi
mu Uganda mulimu oggulire kiri omanye eriwandiika amawulire agategerekeka
magule kati obuzava oyo tayina
abantu basombe mawulire kuba buli gavuzeeyo gakuba new vision temuli mukedde temuli
story bagulangule
monitor temuli
singa babuvunjisa ekagenda nga mu kanisa ya Bugembe akabukedde nebukasota akabuto ne kabika ne kabentwasi bune wako ne buduka kayira dduka sebo atasigalayo mukolo konko nako kadduka budisika bakakubidde na mirembe mu jaji je kavuma luwalira ne bakafuna ne baka mukakenga nti kabukedde wegere ne bakavumba kiranga kafuluma ne bakatsindika wansi ne bakasota
batyo tumaliriza ekitundu kyaffe
buleka yokuwandika ku bantu
Tamale mirundi
more powerful than those
ekitabo kyekipya muzeeyi bakiyitani
how mafias undermine Museveni's government a focus on umeme katabo kakunyonyola milioni za Museveni ebina bwe baziba milioni bina tetwali lyombye naki n'amasanyalazi nankabirwa naye yali azembu atunde naye nankabirwa we bali kukwatira nankabirwa we bali kukwatira nankabirwa we bali banywereza kitutu mwabazanyira mu gavumenti imu baligenda okuzuukuka oyo kiwanuka nga bano baddukira dda mu helicopter ate batula mu meeting bano gye bali nankabirwa aligenda okuzuukuka kumanya nga banne badduka dda balyoke bamuvunjise ab'okuvunjisiza wano nga bali badduka dda bamuvunjise nankabirwa bakitutu abali esente babavunjise
tubebaza nnyo okutuwagira ebbanga lyonna
webale
kuwagira mutwali wa mole n'amatovu mirundi
work for the people.
I see.
You work for the people. The insurance of not going into exile is to work for the people.
I see.
Let government bakomye okuba. Instead of Museveni's family panicking in meetings, let them say, where did the rain start beating us?
I see.
We are given Minister of Education. China ne TVs ne radios ezayiro zabula yes
bulijasubiza abantu kituuka
Salimu Salabadde mu poverty alleviation bakyusa manja where is the impact?
I see.
Yes
polida
service abantu bagala service delivery
bagala kulaba
ne sente olutuka kati oyo magezi yabulanga enziku yazipa nadduka ne stamp ne bazimu
polida
nayasoma naye wakuvunjisiza magezi naye wakuvunjisiza wa
genda mpalishi modo
kati oyo baliddukira wa mwekizaire naye wakwatirwa wa waliwo okukwatirwa wano bababuuza mu bukiiko you will see committees commissions immediately the NRM came to power it instituted a human rights commission UPCs were arrested.
I see.
Bagenda okukwata bannankabirwa amafuta g'omulaalo tebakuba akalumbu abatiisi nakuba ebifaananyi right honorable prime minister akakazi akati kamwawuliramu nekamwawuliramu nankabirwa kati ate aleeta byawumemi ate nze bannankabirwa bwekyembasaasira abaagala sente zino beekukumi bo tebalabo batumanyi bannankabirwa hunting dogs mu meeting zaabwe mwemuli eyo meeting hiyo jikubira abantu bajibuli
amina
they are sitting in their meetings if they decide today to run away by the time the hunting dogs will realize ngabo batusebe
bwetu tewe tutambudde mu kitundu kyaffe
don't be a hunting dog in your
country tubasiibudde mweraba